Well, hello there, it's John, and today I have a video tutorial for you about how to take your blog from zero to $100,000 per year in your spare time. The key words there being your spare time. If you've been in the blogosphere for long, you've probably noticed that there are like a million different ways to grow a popular blog. I mean, everyone has a different technique or opinion about the best thing to do, and if you're not careful, I mean, to apply all of that stuff, you'd have to work 100 hours a week and clone yourself and create an army of clones or something to do everything people tell you to do. But today I want to focus on the most efficient things for you to do. Things that if you do these in your spare time, you can actually grow your blog from zero to $100,000 a year. I don't mean to imply that it will happen instantly. I mean, this is not something that's, you press a button and money flies out of your DVD drive. This is, it may take a year or so to do this in your spare time, but it's totally possible, okay? And today I want to walk you through step by step exactly how to do that. Just to make things interesting, we'll put a few qualifiers in here, because if you look at other tutorials or blog posts or videos or whatever like this, you probably see them telling you to advertise in some magic place that just became available for advertising that no one else knows about. And so the advertising is ridiculously cheap. This is a story that's repeated over and over again. I mean, at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Probably once or twice a year, a new advertising source comes along. And everyone jumps on it and says it's the magic secret to building an income for yourself online, because it's so cheap and whatever. But the problem is, number one, by the time they create that course, I mean, there are like 500 people creating courses for it, and it's no longer a secret. So the prices go up. Number two, creating advertising that actually makes money is hard. If you've ever tried to do it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, and you're scared about the whole thing, you should be, because it's a good way to lose hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Not because there's anything wrong with the strategy. It's just dramatically harder than what a lot of people make it out to be. And number three, it takes money. I mean, maybe you don't have $2,000 a month to spend on advertising. So that disqualifies the whole strategy for you. Okay, so we're not going to do anything about spending money on ads. We're also not going to talk about search engine traffic. This may surprise you because it's the primary way most people see themselves making money from blogging. But here's the reality of search engines. Okay, anybody that tells you here's a magic technique where in 30 days you can start getting a ton of search engine traffic, whatever they're telling you to do is some sort of exploit where they're doing something against the rules for Google, and they're probably about to be banned. Any legitimate search engine strategy normally takes 6 months to a year to start seeing really good results for a new site. Okay? And it's also, it's great traffic, yes, but it's a lot of work. So for that 6 months to a year, you're probably talking 10 hours plus a week, okay, of work on building links to your site. And when you're a beginner, I don't think that's the best use of your time. Is it valuable? Yes, actually, I believe it is, once your blog is big and successful. But in the beginning, I don't really think you should be focusing on this. So the strategy I'm going to be telling you today doesn't require any search engine traffic. Your site could not even be in Google, and this would still work for you. Okay? And we're also not going to do anything sleazy. So I don't know if you've seen a lot of other stuff online. I mean, a lot of them recommend you do things that are just sort of unethical, like paying people to leave reviews on your product, or recommending products to other people for a commission that you've never used before, or slapping up a whole bunch of ads on your site, um, and producing a whole bunch of crappy content just for the hopes of trying to get people on your site. And if you're anything like me, I mean, you look at all of that and you get this like feeling in your stomach, this like, ugh. And we're not going to do any of that today. Everything I'm going to recommend to you is totally above board, totally ethical. You can do it, you'll sleep great at night, because you're going to be out there helping people. Okay? So, the question, what all of this really boils down to is actually a very simple question, which is, if you had to start over from scratch, without any name recognition or money or anything, what would you do? I mean, every now and again, I'll do a webinar or go to a conference and speak, and I always get asked this question. And my answer surprises people, but it's my, honest to God, what I really believe here is it's not about what you do. All of the things out there work, but it's about when you do it. If you do it at the wrong time, then it's not going to work for you. Now, when I say that, most people will give me a look like this. What the hell are you talking about? Because it's confusing. What do you mean it's not about what you do, it's about when you do it? It's probably not something you've heard before. And what I mean is this. You've probably heard about all of these different blogging strategies. Produce great content, SEO, podcasting, Facebook, Twitter, guest blogging, building an email list, YouTube videos, outreach, Reddit, Hacker News, etc. I mean, those are some of the most commonly recommended things in our space to build traffic and to build a profitable site. And by the way, they all work. And also, they all don't work. And the reason why is this very simple little question. Which one goes first? Out of all of these, can you just pick one and implement it and get results? Or do they have to go in order? And the answer is the second. You have to do things in the right order. If you do them in the right order, they'll work. If you do them in the wrong order, none of the strategies on this list will work. You will totally waste your time. It will be a total failure if you do it in the wrong order. Alright, so let's talk about how to do it in the right order. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that building a popular blog actually goes in stages. And there are 5 stages that you go through on the way to $100,000. Okay, and here they are. Stage 1 is the comprehension stage. This stage is all about learning about your audience and the influencers in your space. And the best way I know to describe it is to ask yourself the question, number 1, what are the most shared posts in your space? What are they? Give me a list of the links. If you can't do that, then you don't understand your audience. Okay? The second question is, what are influencers linking to? So what's the type of thing that you publish that gets a lot of links? Give me a list. Here are the 20 most linked to posts in your space. If you can't do that, you don't understand the influencers in your space. And you're incapable of creating great content. Because those two things defines what great content is. Every now and again, I'll talk to beginner and they'll say, well, I'm producing great content and it's not working. And I'll ask them, so have you studied the most shared and the most linked to content in your space? Well, no. And I said, well, I'm sorry, you don't know what great content is. Because influencers and the audiences, they define it. We as writers do not. It's an important thing to learn. Okay, stage 2 is then once you understand what great content is, and you really start to comprehend your space, then you build connections. And here's what I mean. Traffic doesn't come from nowhere. Someone has to give it to you. You have to get a link from somebody. People say, this is not the field of dreams, okay? Traffic always comes from somewhere. May come from Google, may come from Twitter, but even on Twitter or Facebook, even Google, it's all a result, by the way, if you get significant traffic, it's a result of influencers in your space linking to you. All traffic, all free traffic is a result of that. So the question is, do you have connections with those influencers? If you don't, you have to build them. Now you may say, John, I'm just starting. Why would they want to have anything to do with me? And there are lots of answers to that question. The first one is they need great content. So, for example, you may notice that they have a podcast. They need a great podcast guest. You may notice that they accept guest posts. They need great guest posts from other people. So if you can provide them great content, that's a good way to build connections. All right, number 3 is conversion. And in this case, you may have heard of conversion as making money on things, as selling. That's not the type of conversion I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is converting visitors into email subscribers. According to our research, which, we're not Harvard or anything, but according to the research we've done, if a visitor comes to your site and they don't subscribe, even if they like your site and they want to come back, 95% of them never will for the rest of their life. Now that's shocking to most people. You think if you provide great content, people will come back. It's not true. And the reason why is forgetfulness. We all forget. What happens is they come to your site, they like the content, they say they'll come back, and 4 years from now, they're sitting on the couch watching TV, it's on a commercial, and they think, I was on that site years ago, and it was great. I wonder what's going on there. Well, crap, I can't remember what the domain name is. And then they forget about you for another 4 years. That's the reality of dealing with human beings, is we're all distracted, we're all overworked, we all have way too many things to remember. So what you have to do is get them to subscribe in order to follow up with them over time. And another thing, email is the key, not RSS. So our RSS is a dying technology. Again, according to our research, email has 10 times the likelihood of them coming back to your site and becoming a repeat visitor of RSS. So those are 2 important things to know. Number 4 is content. So this is the actual stage where you start publishing posts. And what's shocking here is a lot of bloggers start here. But that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. Because here's the thing. You can't get traffic to your content until you've completed the first 3 steps. It's impossible. Impossible. So what you have to do is, or if it happens, you just got lucky. Okay. So what you want to do is, if you have a blog and you're producing content and you're not getting traffic, it's because you're actually in stage 1. You're not in stage 4. When you get to stage 4 and you start producing content, it automatically produces massive amounts of traffic with very little effort. Okay? If that's not happening for you, it's because you're skipping steps. And if you're skipping steps, it's never going to work. I'm sorry. So you got to go back to the beginning and start over. All right? Once you get there, it's so much easier. And then number 5, so you got that traffic coming in. Now it's time to get clients. And what I mean by clients is you can either do one-on-one coaching or consulting. You can provide services, like maybe be a freelance writer. I have a client who's an interior decorator that looks at pictures of your photos of your inside your house and does an interior design for your house without ever stepping foot in your house. I mean, there are all kinds of things you can do here. The fact is, though, if you look around at bloggers making 6 or even 7 figures off of their blogs, the majority of them are not selling advertising. You don't see any ads on their site. They don't have an ebook. They don't have a book on Amazon. They're not doing probably all of the things you were thinking about. What they have is clients. Clients. I have one friend who has he has more now. He had less than 2,000 subscribers on his email list, and he was making over 100 grand a year. How? Clients. He set up websites and did all sorts of technical stuff for different small businesses. His average client was probably like 2 grand. 50 clients, 2 grand, $100,000 a year. Okay? To get 50 people out of 2,000, not that hard. Okay? So we'll go more into that later. But clients are the key to getting to 6 figures. Not ebooks, not advertising, not affiliate marketing, none of that stuff. All of that stuff, it's good, it's valuable. But if you want to get to 100K a year, it's not where you start. Alright? So that's where it leads. You get enough clients and you get to 100K a year. Okay, so that's the big picture. This is what you need to do. So the question is, alright, you've seen the big picture now, what do you go out and do tomorrow? Well, let me walk you through just a few steps real quick. Stage 1, comprehension. Here are 3 websites that will give you instant insights. First one is Social Crawlytics. This will show you the most shared posts in your space. After that, a tool called Open Site Explorer by Moz. This is the paid tool, but they have a 30-day trial, which is all you need, by the way. All of these you can use for free for at least a limited amount of time. 30-day trial is plenty. You don't need to stay subscribed if you don't want to. But it shows you the most linked posts in your space. In other words, it shows you what other influencers want you to publish. And then Feedly is a simple tool. You may already be using it to follow and study the most popular blogs in your space. So let's walk through these real quick. The first one, Social Crawlytics. The idea here, I want you to take 3 to 5 of the similar blogs in your space and plug them into Social Crawlytics, and it'll give you a list of all of the most popular or all of the most shared posts on the site. Then what you do is you go through and you read those posts and you study them. I mean, it's not rocket science. So you go through, plug in each of those blogs in your space. It'll create a report for each one. I believe this one here is one that I pulled from Mark and Angel, one of the most popular self-improvement sites out there. And these are the most shared posts on their site. You can sort by Twitter, Facebook, whatever if you want to. Massively valuable information. This shows you what people in the self-improvement space want to read. And what you should do is model these posts, create something similar. Okay? Next tool, Open Site Explorer. Again, you can get a free trial of this. But just go to Moz.com or go to OpenSiteExplorer.com. I think that works too. I plugged in Boostblog Traffic just for an example. And the idea here, you want to go to the top pages tab. And this shows you all of the pages on the site ranked by the page authority. And what that means is these are the sites that have gotten links from other influential sites. These are the pages that have gotten links from other influential sites. So it's a measure, it's a good measure of this is what other influencers want you to write about. So those other influential sites, if you're wondering, what can I write to get a link from them? This is the answer. So again, take the 3 to 5 most popular sites similar to yours in your space, plug them into Open Site Explorer, get this list, study those posts. And then if you're smart, I mean, a good thing to do, take something that got a lot of links, create a better version of it, publish it, and then go back and ask all of those people. They'll link to them to link to you. Works really well, by the way. Okay. And then third, Feedly. This one's real simple. The idea here, just one of the best ways to learn is to follow the blog similar to yours and just read their posts and read the comments. Feedly makes that easy. It's another free tool. And I mean, if you go to the Home tab, it'll show you all of the latest posts that you haven't read. You can also organize blogs by category. It's a great tool. And what you should do, 15-30 minutes a day. Just go through, read all of the posts in the blogs, on the blogs similar to your space. Try to figure out what are they doing that's working, what are they doing that's not working. Look at the number of comments on each post. Look at the number of shares on each post. You'll learn a ton. Okay. So again, that's just the first stage here. Just the first stage. So you may be wondering, all right, so what about the next stages? How do I build connections? How do I convert people into email subscribers? How do I create content that gets links? How do I get my first clients? And I actually have a little course to show you that shows you how to do all of those things. So what this is, it's the six-figure roadmap, and it's a breakdown of everything you have to do and when to build a six-figure blog. And what it's composed of, first of all, is there's a 28-page insider report. And it's no fluff. It's just do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay? So if you've ever picked up a book that's like 200 pages, and you read it, and you were like, this could have been like 5 pages to tell me everything they just told me in this 200-page book. Well, like, this is the 5 pages. We're 28 pages. It's 28 pages, all of the fluff cut out of it, all of the stories cut out of it. I do give you some real-life examples, but I don't, like, break them down in exhaustive detail for you. Mostly, I just tell you A, B, C, D. Here's the stage, here's what to do, here's how much time it should take you. Okay? Next, I give you checklists. So each stage has a separate checklist to where if you're in stage 1 wondering what to do, go to the stage 1 checklist. It says, do this, this, and this. Here's how much time you should be spending on it. And I even give you suggestions at the time of the day you should do it. So if you're wondering how to organize your schedule, it'll show you how to do that, save you a lot of time. And then lastly, there are videos. So instead of just learning the theory, I've created some videos. Like if you're wondering, so I gave you just a really quick overview of social Crawlytics. But if you'd like to actually see me do it, I have a video of that. Okay, so we have a collection of videos, little video library to show you how to do the things that we're talking about. So you can move forward with this and start getting results immediately. So here are some of the things you'll learn. Number 1, this is not just some theory I thought up at 2 o'clock in the morning one night. This is actually something that I did myself. So boostblogtraffic.com, it's the biggest blog launch in history. It went from 0 to 13,000 email subscribers in only 6 weeks. And if you're wondering how I did it, it's following the exact 5 steps that I teach you in this report. Exactly the same thing. So now, are you going to get 13,000 subscribers? No, probably not. Not if you're a beginner, okay? This was not my first blog. So I have a lot more connections at this point than you probably do at this moment. But can you get maybe 1,300? Maybe. Okay, maybe. And, that's only 10% of what I got, but chances are you'd still probably be pretty happy with that. Number 2, it's got to organize your schedule for maximum productivity. So if you're wondering, John, what should I be doing every day? Actually, I'll tell you and give you like a calendar for everything you need to be doing. I'll suggest different times of day to do it and give you like a little schedule for everything you need to do in each stage. So you'll know how you need to be spending your days if you actually want to get all of this done. Number 3, you got to grab the attention of influencers in your space. So If you're still wondering, how do I get these influencers to pay attention to me? How do I grab their attention? Here I'll walk you through, I think it's 2 or 3 strategies that they work even if you're a total beginner and nobody knows who you are. And I'll walk you through each of those strategies, tell you exactly what to do. Number 4, how to build your email list starting from scratch. So here we go through a little bit of technical stuff. When people hit your website, how to get them to become an email subscriber. So we talk about feature boxes, talk a little bit about pop-ups, things like that, so you know exactly how to get people on your email list. Number 5, and by the way, I'm not a big fan of pop-ups, just so you know. Again, I said nothing unethical. And to me, pop-ups are borderline. Okay, number 5, how to write blog posts that get tons of links and traffic. So here, stage 4, we're talking about how to actually write posts that get hundreds or even thousands of visitors every single time you publish. If you've been wondering how to do that, I'll walk you through it. Okay? And these are only part of the things. We talk about how to get your clients, all kinds of stuff that I don't have room to list here. But at this point, you're probably wondering, how much is this going to cost? Because if you've been hanging around me for long, you've probably learned that I have a reputation for being expensive. I mean, I have a coaching program that's $10,000. When I do individual one-on-one consulting, I charge $1,000 an hour. And by the way, I have a 6-month waiting list for people who want to talk to me at $1,000 an hour. Even a lot of my courses are much higher priced than anything else in our space. So you may be a little worried, but here's the deal. The price of the course is only going to be $49. Okay? I want to make this accessible for beginners. I could probably charge 4 times that and still sell it. I could still probably charge $200 and people would still buy it. I'd probably make more money if I did that. But I remember what it's like to be a beginner, and I want you to be able to give this a try. And also, I've got a bonus for you. To make this kind of the ultimate getting started package, I want to include the Blog Business Blueprint, which is a course that I produced with Johnny B. Truant. It's over 20 hours of instruction on how to build your blog and monetize it successfully. In the past, I've sold it for $497. That's not like a BS price that I pulled out of the air. That's not just the value of it. People have paid that much for it, okay? But I'm not going to charge you $497 for it. If you buy the 6-Figure Roadmap today, you're going to get this for free. So the entire $497 course. And also, I'm going to give you a money-back guarantee. So you can go through the entire course, and if you don't absolutely love it, email me within 30 days, and I'll give you a refund. No delays, no questions asked, no problem. All right? So just to summarize what you're getting today, 6-Figure Roadmap is valued at $49. The Blog Business Blueprint is valued at $497. The total value is $546. But you're getting it for $49. And you may be thinking, why would you do that? What's the catch? Are you going to, what are you going to do? Here's the deal. Yes, I want to help you. That is part of the motivation. I remember what it's like to be a beginner and not to be able to afford those expensive courses. But my other motivation is I believe that if I give you this for a low price and it helps you and you get results from it, that from that point on, I'll have won you over and you'll be a customer for life. That you'll come back and you'll buy other training and that you'll become a lifelong student. And I'll be able to show you how to do all kinds of things. Okay? So for me, this is an investment in your future. That I'm lowering the price, making this cheaper, so that you can get it and you can actually, instead of just running around in circles and not getting anywhere, let's get you some results and give you a system that actually works and that's actually proven to work both on my blog and on the blogs of my other students. And, let's get you traffic. Let's help you make your first few $1,000s a month. If I do that and I help you do it for a really inexpensive price, my belief, is you'll show up maybe a year or two down the road for that $10,000 coaching program. And you say, John, your training in the past has worked for me really well. I'm ready to go to the next step. Okay, but for you to get there, first I have to do my job and help you get your first results. So to do that, I'm going to make it really cheap. Just with the belief that it'll be such a great experience for you that you'll want to come back again and again. Okay, so click the button below and you can save $497 today. And with your money back guarantee, you literally have nothing to lose. So thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.